everybody. Welcome to this week's Jet Class Fabulous Work. I'm really excited to be showing everybody all of your amazing pieces of work this week. So let's get into it. Um, First of all, though, we're going to look at the word of the week. So this week's word of the week is the word solace, and it's a noun. You might have heard of this one before. It's one of my faves. It basically means something that gives comfort, consolation, or relief. So you might find solace in reading a book or drawing a picture or spending time with your family and friends. There you go, that's a picture just to show you. Oh, he looks like he's really cozy with a nice mug of hot chocolate there. So, let's see. This is an example of it actually being used. The only solace of the day was to make food, the basic things, soups, simple pastas, and bread. I like that. Really nice way to use that in your writing. Where does this word come from, I wonder? Where do you think? Do you think it could be Latin, Greek, Norman French? Let's find out. So, it's both a noun and a verb, so it's also a thing and it's also a doing word as well, which sort of makes sense. I mean, it comes from the Old French noun solaz. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that properly, for those of you that do speak French. I know Colette does. But that word actually comes from the Latin, so it's a little bit of both. And of course, English, lots of English words have been borrowed from French. And actually, the English language, lots of it comes from French because of the Normans when they invaded. And this ended the language, the English language, around the late 13th century. So it's a great word there. Okay, what have I been getting up to? So this week I've been getting up to doing lots of lino printing. As you can see there, I've got a fabulous new block printing book, and I've also been doing some reupholstery. You can see there I found this chair. I'm actually going to be painting it, so stay tuned for next week to see how it progresses. And of course, I've been doing lots and lots of running, love a good run, and I've been reading loads of books. I love reading, or you know that anyway, but I've been loving reading some more. I'm finding solace in reading a good book just before bed. See what I did there? Okay, moving on to your work now. I'm so excited to show you some of this. So, what exactly have Six Jet been up to? So look at these fabulous creations from Olive. She's been creating art from anything she can find in the house. Just look how cute the owl and the cat are. It reminds me of a poem. I wonder if anyone can tell me what poem I'm thinking of. It's got an owl in it, that's the clue, and it's got a cat. She's also been running 3 times a week with her mum. Good on you, just like me. And you've also had a go at cosmic yoga, which sounds really cool. You're going to have to show us some moves when we get back to school. And she's been doing Joe Wicks workout every day. I love to see that. And just have a look as well at her 2 pieces of work about the wood and the sea. Such beautiful language. So well done to you, Olive. And Heidi, she's also been very, very busy. First thing my eye went to there was those lemon biscuits. They look like they could be from Gales, if I'm perfectly honest with you. They look absolutely scrumptious. I can really do one now with a nice cup of tea. But she's also finished her time capsule, and she's been reading her book at the moment, which is Potkin Stubbs by Sophie Green, which is really excellent. Go check it out. I've read the blurb. It sounds really, really, really excellent. Also some stunning drawings as well of the cave from a couple of weeks ago. Well done to you, Heidi. And I love seeing not just your pictures of your work, but also the other things that you're getting up to as well. So please let me know if you've been baking and what exactly you've been making. Make sure you take a picture of it as well and send it in. Okay, moving on to some other pieces of work now. Just look at this brilliant maths work from Anderson last week. He's been absolutely smashing it with his calculations, and I love the neat, methodical way he's been solving these problems. Have you been setting your work out as neatly and showing your working out on a separate page, just like Anderson's doing? And if you're finding the Year 6 maths too easy, you've got to have a go at the Year 7 challenges, which I know lots of you have been doing already. So look at how neat Anderson's been presenting his work. It's clear to me what he's understood, what he needs to work on, and it makes it such a joy to mark. Honestly, it makes such a big difference. Big well done to you, Anderson. Also, high five for joining up your letters. Don't think I haven't noticed. I certainly have. Big well done. This is another person who's always works incredibly hard, and this is Ava's work from this week. And even though she had some internet problems at the start of the week, she still managed to do all of her work and submit in the pieces that she was proud of. So I'm really proud of you for doing that. And I absolutely love the setting description. She's basically used such powerful imagery. I really recommend you read what she's written there. Can you actually spot the metaphors and the personification techniques that she's carefully weaved in there? I thought the description of the sky stretching out give the scene a feeling of calm and relaxation. But notice later it becomes more tense. But, the feelings sort of build, these tense feelings build up when she sort of describes the fields as a prisoner. Do you remember that setting description we read together in class, The Hound of the Baskervilles? And how that author did exactly the same thing. It's a really powerful technique to sort of relax the reader, and then you sort of put them on edge a bit, and it makes you think when you're reading it something might happen, and it makes your work sound more exciting. And are you always thinking about your audience just like Ava always does? Because she's a great adept writer. So are you actually doing that? And I could not pass the opportunity to mention how cool are these guys that she's drawn here. Can you teach us how to create these characters when we get back, Ava? I know you use the reading poster, but it'd be so cool if you could actually explain to people how to create those really nice shading and who exactly these characters are. I thought they were so good. In fact, my sister thought that they were from a real illustrator. And then I explained to her that actually was Ava in my class who created it. She went, "Oh my goodness, are you serious? That is amazing." So really big well done to you, Ava. Bravo. And this is someone else who's also been very busy this week and consistently blows me away with her hard work in every single subject. This is Ruby's work. I mean, just have a look at her beautiful rainbow for the NHS. And this is actually in a really large scale. And I believe, Ruby, you've actually put it on your window, which is so lovely. It must brighten up your whole street. And also, if you notice, this is her science work underneath. It's really detailed, her writing, and she's drawn diagrams to go with it. So if she was there ever study that topic again in secondary school, she could go back to her notes from year 6 and go, "Oh yeah, I remember this." And it will stick in her head much, much better because she's actually written notes and diagrams about it. It's like you're reteaching yourself again. Also, she's consistently submitted in work that is 100% of what I have asked for. Just have a look at the rest of her work. I mean, it's self-explanatory, really. Are you writing and producing the same amount of work as you do in class? Because I know Ruby and lots of you are. Her time capsule was also fabulous. And just have a look at her maths work over here. Neat, methodical, as I've mentioned before. And this is her story. Well, this is the plan for her story, her setting description. And I couldn't not include Jasper, her cat. He looks so cute, stretching out there. Oh, so lovely. And I also love the quilt that he's resting on. He looks like he's had a really relaxing day, finding solace in the bed or on the couch, wherever he is. Love that. This is somebody else who's consistently shown me the work she is getting up to. This is Esme. So all of her submissions, every single day that she submits something in, she shows me what she's doing. That is what I expect from everybody, because that way I know what you've been getting up to and what you've done well and what you need help on. And she does that every single week. So big well done to you, Esme. I love her drawing of Mr. Grunt from the reading poster. So somebody else who's had a go at doing the illustrations. And what I also like is the fact that her maths is neat and it's easy to read. Now, is yours as easy to read as Esme's? I love, by the way, the colour coding. It makes it so interesting to look over. She's been using the reading poster back onto that. And actually having fun with different activities on there. So a really big well done, Esme. I absolutely love seeing your submissions come through every single week. Now, speaking of brilliant submissions, can you please take a look at Anna's work in maths? This is somebody else who always shows me how hard she's been working and everything that she's been learning. She's marked her work herself, meaning that I can basically see how confident she is at each piece of work. If she was stuck on a question or didn't get it right, Anna could see what the answer was, and then she could ask me for help on that particular question. Sometimes you get a question wrong because, oh, you just forgot to read it properly, but you don't really need me to explain how to add 1 plus 2. So actually, this way, I could be more specific because I've got a word count limit on how much I can write on LGFL. So this way, it's a much more efficient way of me checking over your work. And this is the work I expect from absolutely everybody. This is another couple of pictures from Anna. Well, there's more than a couple, isn't there? Because a couple's 2, so there's 4 there. And I love seeing what books you're reading. Anna's not the only one who sent me in pictures of her books. Thank you to everyone who sent me a picture of those. And I recommend you check out the blurb of this one as well, World Spark. I love the cover illustration. Anna, if you could have a go at copying that, that'd be really, really cool. So really, really well done. I love seeing what you're reading, especially as being the reading leader in school. Now, I've got some few pieces of work from Alice that I would really like to show you in all their detail. So every single week, she's somebody else who's been consistently writing down what she's learnt in science. It doesn't have to be long, but it shows me what you've understood. Now, can you think of why some 3D objects take longer to sink than others? Think about a parachute. It's something resistance. What do you think that could be? Well, obviously, there's not the same thing as a parachute because we don't have water in the air, but it works really, really similarly. Can anybody actually write down what I'm trying to get at here? Trying to explain it to somebody in year 5. I'm not giving the whole answers away. I also love the cheat sheets that she's been sending in. So she's adding to it every single week, and then she's sending me in a Microsoft Word of her work. And that way I can see, oh yes, right, you've understood this part. Can you add this bit in? It really works well. And it's the sort of notes that you're going to be taking when you all go to secondary school and when you all go to university. And I wanted to save the best bit till last though. I've written C there, please ignore that, I think it's a typing error. It's basically just look at her maths work. Again, really makes a world of difference when your work is neat. I can clearly see what she's learned, and now I can get her to explain her answers in more detail. It's such a stunning piece of work. So I would say for question 5 then, Alice, why is Mo correct? How do you know that Mo is correct? But again, that is literally me getting you to work at your greater depth level because Alice is greater depth in maths. So really making sure that she pushes herself to excel. So this is Olivia's piece of work. So we've had, as well as learning to do the cartwheel, what Olivia's also been busy with is she's been filling up her time capsule with some objects. Here are just some of them. Now, Olivia, could you add a label for each item to say what they are? And just look at how cool her drawing of a black hole is. Really, they look like eyes. It's really fabulous. Again, you're somebody else that I need you to tell us how you created this when we get back to school, Olivia, because it's fabulous. So, so cool. Really abstract. It looks like it could be in the Tate. Do you remember when we all went to visit the Tate Modern? I feel like it could be in an exhibition there. Very, very excellent. Big well done. Now, Hugh, he's actually broken his foot this week. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you're recovering. But can I just say, look at how hard he's already been working, even though his foot's broken. His maths work this week was, again, really fabulous. He's working at greater depth, and he's basically showing you there are lots of different ways that you can complete your work. I especially love the way he's described his reasoning clearly and methodically. This way, like I've said before, I know that he's working at great depth in maths. Results aren't guesswork, you know. I've got to be proven, you've got to prove to me that you're working at the best of your ability. You've got to say, yeah, I'm working at this level. Look, Miss Jones, I can prove it to you. Because I can't guess. I'm not guesswork, I'm not a mind reader. You've got to show me what you know. Big well done there, Hugh. Isaiah is somebody else who I just have to give a shout out to because of the way he puts 100% of his energy into his work every single week. This is also another great example of a top student explaining his reasoning in maths. I'm so impressed, Isaiah, with the maths language that you use this week, and you use it consistently every single week. Like I've said with Hughes, I know that Isaiah understands all of the questions because he explains it fully. And that way, I know that he is working at the best of his ability. Big well done, Isaiah. Same also goes for Georgiana. Have a look at this beautiful, beautiful maths work that she's done here. All those ticks, all those correct answers. Now, you can say, can you not simplify 5? I'm looking at question 3 here, Georgiana. Can we actually simplify 5 if it is in a fraction? Have a think about the fraction 5/10. Could you simplify that? Have a think. Now, remember, it's not just numbers which are even that we can simplify. We don't just halve numbers to simplify a fraction. We can also divide it by 3, divide it by 5, divide it by whatever, as long as they are both in the same times table. What word do we call that if two numbers are in the same times table? Let me know what that is on the comment section on LGFL. I wonder, it's a really, really straightforward question. Who's remembered it? Well done, Georgiana. Now, moving on to writing. This is from Noah. Absolutely amazing. Here's his submissions. The beach. So just look at his use of similes, expanded noun phrases, adverbs, and fronted adverbials. Simply stunning, just like that scene. Oh gosh, wouldn't it be nice to actually be in a beach scene like that? So he's now going to up-level his work by adding a wider range of adverbials to the start of his sentences. What I absolutely love though is the golden blanket he's used there to describe the sand. And notice the sentence up above, seagulls and pelicans circle the sky. That is a really great sentence starter. Can you now start adding more fronted adverbials to the start of your sentences, Noah, to really up-level your piece of work? Bravo and a big well done. Now, I've just wanted to add this part in from Hugh as well. He is also somebody else that's really confident at writing. Just look at his description of the craggy mountain, and the river was like a throat glugging down the mountain-top streams. Hugh, you're somebody else that I would absolutely love for you to include more fronted adverbials or a different range of openers to start your sentences to help make it flow. And last but not least, I've got some work here from Amani, another setting description. This is a piece of work that I absolutely loved. It's from Amani, like I said before, and she's also been busy growing radish, beetroot, lettuce and basil on her kitchen windowsill. And she's reading the Person Controller. Just have a look at the way, though, she starts her sentences in this piece. Several tall, towering giants stood ground at the edge of this great lake. Down below, the waters remained still, apart from the gushing liquid impacting the surface. The harsh wind shoved me past, and shivers shot down my shaking spine. Amazing alliteration there. This was as if it was a signal. For every night after this, darkness overwhelmed the entire island, and the moon set in its place until the cycle starts once again. Avelania. Am I saying that correctly, Imani? Please let me know. Absolutely stunning. Each sentence has been started and been constructed differently. Basically, this allows the reader to be transported onto a journey through the land. The sentence structure also just shows me that you are working at greater depth, Imani, for your writing. Every single one of those sentences is different, and that is what I love about it. And I also know that lots of you can also use repetition, but make sure you use repetition in a stylistic way, so you actually do it on purpose. And if you're not confident with repetition, I would start your sentences differently, just to mix it up. So that's it. Well done to all of you in the best class in Salisbury. I'm allowed to say that because I'm your teacher. But well done, Jet class. I love seeing your submissions this week, and I can't wait to see the rest of your submissions next week as well. Take care, and I can't wait to go back to school. I miss you all so, so much. Not long now, fingers crossed. Anyway, take care and enjoy the rest of your week.